Hello there everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Soulver Weekly Forecast. I'm Courtney Kassman.
And I'm Alison Maiden.
And we have a really interesting topic today that you are very well versed in. You do lots of research into it. We're going to be talking about all things food.
If you can still call it that.
If you can still call it that. Additives and you name it. Yeah. I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, what's going on with our food, guys? There's been a lot of talk about additives that are happening to feed of cattle.
Yes.
And also what they're injecting into animals and how that's going to affect us as human beings, because there's been no long-term studies on any of this stuff. And so it's virtually, we're going back to a situation that we had a while back, if you remember, that the long-term studies weren't done, and now that there's a lot of suffering happening because of that. And so personally for me, it's got me really concerned and really worried. And I just am very cautious about, as you know, I'm very cautious about what I eat anyway. I have a lot of allergies. But when it comes down to this sort of thing, it's like not only is it insulting to us as a human race to just be fiddling around with our food, but also the poor animals.
Yeah.
And they're suffering. And they're not even testing to see whether it's affecting them on a long-term basis, which I'm sure it will do. So let's have a look at the additives, and I've got a couple of things in my mind that I want to really look at first. One is going to be changing the structure of your milk. So all milk products, which is an additive that stops the cows from gassing.
Wow.
Because of the CO2. So it's just funny to me that these people that are coming up with these ideas are flying around in their own private jets, providing the atmosphere was a lot more CO2 than a cow. So, you've got to just balance up what the money is happening here, or where they're getting the money from here.
Absolutely.
So, and the way to do it is not consume those particular products, so that we give them a very, very firm idea on how we feel about things as the consumer. So there's been protests, and there's also been many brands that have been left on the shelves because of this, overseas in particular. England and also the US are really, really hot on this stuff right now.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at what's going to be happening with this. First of all, I'm going to actually ask about our health, in all of this. Oh, gosh, be prepared. Whoa. It's not a good card to have on the bottom. We need to defend ourselves here, because this is a card of defence, and we need to be really super careful, look at labels. And by the way, they're not actually labelling them.
Naughty.
Not actually labelling them. So this is going to be a case of watch where you're getting your food from. Local butchers, local fruit and veg, that's the way to go. Local dairies, even if you can, organic dairies,
yes.
That sort of thing. But even make sure they aren't injecting their cows with certain vaccines and things like that. You guys have to be super vigilant over this stuff, because it's already happening.
Yes.
It's already being released.
Is that something people can look up online that you found? Yeah. If they're not putting on the labels?
Definitely. I found a lot of information on that platform, which used to be known as Twitter, and it's now X. I found a lot of information on there. More so than other platforms. So now this to me is a lot of confusion, and it's creating confusion. So as usual, the smoke screen of confusion. And so they say, oh, it's perfectly harmless, la, 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 la. In the fine print, however, they definitely have got in there that it can affect fertility rates in young adults. Don't believe me, go look it up for yourself. It's definitely in the fine print. And so what we're looking at here is all these different aspects of this particular thing that they're doing. If you're wondering why I'm not speaking very well, it's because I've got to talk a little bit of code. We don't want to upset too many people here. But what we have to do is understand that we must do our own research on everything and make sure that what you're getting on your plate is pure.
Yes. Whole foods.
And not tainted. Because we know who's behind this one. Who's always behind everything that, jibby jabbies and whatnot. He's got his finger in every pie, this fella. So old Bill here is, he's behind the particular situation. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to talk on him. And it's, of course, it's abundance card is above him. So it's not about your health, and it's not about CO2 emissions. It's about money, as it always is.
So money as in they're cutting corners to make more money, or making us sick to make more money?
You got it.
Cool.
You got it.
Not cool, but understanding. Yeah.
And there's not many people around, then there's, more of everything in there.
Yep.
So the rates of pregnancies are going to go down here, and it has already started, guys. There's been several reports from many, many countries who are doing testing on their young people, and the fertility rates are going down. Yep. I mean, they were already on decline anyway.
Yes.
But this is, the fertility clinics will make a killing.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, well, that's another thing for if you've got your finger on one of them.
Mm-hmm. And I bet you all the big major corporations behind this have got shares and everything. So here we have the Six of Swords, which is basically overseas. Of course, all this started overseas. It hasn't started here in Australia. We're in Australia, so it's going to be based here. Yeah. So this is definitely coming in from overseas. But you'll find that this guy here, he's pretty much worldwide. So he's got, his finger in a lot of different pies here. He's getting involved and hooking into the industries such as the major chains. Food chains. Yes. We're looking at, the big ones, the ones that have been around forever, right? And the ones that aren't actually dealing in this stuff are advertising they're not. I did see Aldi the other day advertising it. Yep.
That's good.
Yep. So, because look at this.
Not a part of it.
Yeah. Because this isn't good.
Yeah.
We've got the Tower card as the future card here, meaning that there will be repercussions, the same as there was from the other thing that wasn't okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to have repercussions from them fiddling around with our food. Like, grr, makes me so annoyed. Really does. So when we have here the Page of Wands, everyone's talking about this. This is the best way to combat it. We need to spread the news. We need to talk about it. We need to bring it up at the dinner table, right? And we need to actually ask our questions. Now, a lot of people, I don't know about you, Court, but I don't particularly like walking into a butcher and saying, hey, where do you get your meat from?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right? And interestingly, I've had to do that for my own allergies because I have an allergy with amines, and if the meat is cryovac, it builds up too many amines and it can actually give me an allergic reaction.
Yep.
So I actually have to say to them, how fresh is your meat? And it does feel quite embarrassing sometimes because they stare at you like you've got like 3 heads.
Yeah.
Like why?
Yep.
But we're talking about your health and your well-being. And if enough people are asking for it, then they will go to the good guys rather than the cheap and easy version.
Yes.
God. It's all down to business, guys. Yep. You are in charge of this. The consumer is in charge of this. You want healthy food, you got to fight for it. You got to definitely look at where it's coming from. And to be honest with you, I mean, people say, I can't afford it, I've got to go to the supermarket. Well, do you know what? I don't know about where you're living, but where we're living, the supermarkets are just astronomically priced. And we will save more money by going to local farmers and getting our food from local farmers. I said this a couple of years ago, didn't realise at that time that it would be contamination that was going to force us into doing this, but we're going to start going back to the old ways, the old markets, the old ways of doing things.
Yep.
It's up to you. It's up to you. There's going to be, I think once this happens, and this will be a major catastrophe, probably a lot of people getting sick or something really, it'll be identified as a cause of an issue, and then there'll be an offer here out of the blue. So this is saying that the governments are going to come back and go, oh, our bad, our mistake, let's cover this up. Let's throw some money at these people and let's get that out of the way. Yep. I don't think it's going to last long. I think that it probably maybe up to 4 years, right, on the market. but we need to make sure that during that time we are 100% certain of where we are getting our stuff from and that it is clean.
Yep.
All right. And this is the moon card. There are things going on that you guys don't know about. Now, I know also in America they have just banned the red food dye because they know it causes cancer.
Yep.
They absolutely know it does. So this is the thing where you have to go, right, what is good for me? What's good for my family? Do some research. Don't be lazy with this, guys. We don't want you in this tower when it hits. Well, you've got to be able to understand that, you know, it's down to you now to take responsibility for your health and your well-being. And we will come out of this and we will come to the other side where our food will be cleaner than it's ever been before.
Yes.
And have a look at Robert Kennedy in the US. He is doing some incredible things there. When he comes into his seat in power in the Trump administration, he's getting rid of so much toxic food from the food groups over in the USA. They're going to be healthier than any of us. So you know what? You need to have a look and see what he's got up. He does a lot of research and he's got some excellent advice.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Alison. And thank you guys for this week. Be sure to give us a thumbs up. Let us know you love the videos. Share and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Bye.